Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Chizi Nyomasila. Chizi Nyomasila is a regular on Open Conversation and he's also the leader, ICU Group. Good morning, Chizi, and welcome.
Good morning, Larisha.
And also joining me today on Open Conversation is Nze Nze. Nze Nze is also a regular on Open Conversation. He is a political analyst and he prides himself as advocate of the masses. And interestingly, today is Nze's birthday. Happy birthday, Nze.
Is that all we need to hear?
I need to announce that.
Is that all we need? Where is the cake?
We will be asking Nze that. So Nze, I actually, before we start the program, I actually want to take out a moment to celebrate you on Open Conversation. You have been amazing, both on screen and off screen. And when people see us bicker like this on air, they might think that, oh, they don't even know that even outside this table, you are a much more amazing person. I want to thank you. You make the world a better place, Nze.
Oh, thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Right.
You know, the truth is that there is always life after the show. And that's what the people are not permitted to see. And, you know, wishing me my birthday today is a very noble one. Thank you very much. I appreciate you and I appreciate the rest of the world that will be celebrating me today.
All right.
And my very good friend, Chizi, thank you very much. You know, you were asking for the cake and we can't cut cake here. Yeah.
You just cut it here. Because I don't know what will happen in the background.
Well, whatever will happen in the background will be in your favor.
Well, ATM will be celebrating you Nze today. I think we'll definitely celebrate it.
That's wonderful.
Your birthday celebration.
So my birthday is tomorrow.
Your birthday is
So hold on, you know, I almost forgot. I have to give this special appreciation to the chairman Morrison Group,
right.
His Excellency Dr. Chirigwe, you know, for hosting me today. He owns me for today, but I pleaded with him that ownership should expire by 4 o'clock,
You're right.
so that other people can own me as well.
You're right, very well.
So it's my pleasure.
All right, thank you. And then moving on, Rivers State political crisis assumed a disturbing dimension following reports that operatives of the Inspector General of Police Intelligence Response Team arrested Port Harcourt-based medical doctor and pastor Tombari Joseph Benel over an alleged plot to assassinate the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. Security sources claimed the arrest was triggered by an intercepted telephone conversation purportedly involving the immediate past secretary to the Rivers State government, Chief Dr. Tammy Danagogo, in which plans to engage foreign nationals were discussed. The police confirmed that a suspect is in custody and that detectives are working to establish the full circumstances and identify possible accomplices. However, Chief Dr. Danagogo, former Rivers SSG and ex-Minister of Sports, has vehemently dismissed the allegations as baseless fabrications designed to smear his reputation. In a statement signed by his special assistant, Barrister Obele Briggs, he said he has no dealings with the named individuals and was never involved in any discussion or plan bordering on violence or assassination. He described the online publication as malicious and a gross abuse of responsible journalism, urging the public to disregard the claims. Dr. Danagogo further insisted that contrary to suggestions that he had gone underground, he is freely in his home and has never been at large. He maintained that he is a peace-loving and law-abiding citizen who has served Rivers State and Nigeria with distinction and integrity, consistently upholding the rule of law and due process. The statement added that he would readily make himself available to the police or any responsible law enforcement agency if formally invited for investigation. The development highlights the intensity of the feud between Governor Similaye Fubara and Minister Wike, a rivalry that has continued to polarize the state and attract national security attention. While the police investigations continues, observers has called for restraint from political actors and for media platforms to adhere to verify information. Nze, what do you make of this story?
You know, at the break of this story, I think I first saw the story on Monday, and either Monday or Sunday thereabout, and citing the picture of Dr. Bernard, I felt embarrassed. I said a person of this caliber ought not to be displayed in this manner, which I believe that if at the end of the day this story becomes a fabrication of one's thoughts, I believe that the IRT will tender unreserved apology if he should sue them. But however, looking at the allegation, it was a very serious one. When I read through it, I felt embarrassed. How can intelligent person like Tammy Danagogo and Dr. Tombari Bueno be conversing this kind of matter on phone? How can? It surprised me, it shocked me. It is just like some of the things we had when the third Q, you know, of last year came up, that people were discussing Q on phone. Who does that? Or are you trying to make me believe that most of Nigerians are still uninformed to the extent that you'll be discussing such matter on phone, to the extent that the IRT had to intercept it? But however, he that alleges must have proof. I think that the statement of Tammy Danagogo, the former SSG, should speak volume, because it was his statement that gave me some, if I may say, landing spot, that he was not at large, and is not at large, and will never be at large, that he is relaxing in his home. I believe that Dr. Bueno was picked, according to the story, from his house. And Tammy is saying that he's also relaxing in his house. But while we look at that, this is a security matter. And the accusation pointing that an external body will be brought in to carry out the assassination plot is a grave national threat, according to the police as well. And no nation will allow that, except where you are completely overpowered. I look at the thing from a different angle. What if this is a plot to shut the mouth of those who are believed to be Fubara's hitmen? One of the things that gave me joy was that the conversation was still at the planning stage. We will do this, we will do this. By the time we have concluded, we will meet the governor for funding, which means at the time of, at the stage of this discussion where the IRT intercepted them, the governor was not even aware. So nobody will in any way indict Mr. Governor of being part of that discussion. Because based on the report we are seeing, the governor is not yet aware. The discussion is was said to, I informed the governor by the time they have agreed with whatever thing to do. But another thing I'm looking at is having fabricated this story, if it is a fabrication anywhere, what do they want to achieve? Why will anybody want to kill Governor Wike, former Governor Wike, FCT minister? That we are bantering with him, we are disagreeing with him, has not called for, unaliving anybody. There is no reason whatsoever such things should come. But if peradventure anything truthful can be gotten from this, it is still from the IRT we will get it, because I believe that Nigerians are getting wiser. At this point, while the investigation is ongoing, I call on the Inspector General of Police to please involve the services of external bodies. Let there be a forensic investigation into this matter, where both the voice that was intercepted and the sources will be traced directly to the source. Because it is possible, AI can do anything now, whether video, audio, whatsoever, AI can do anything. let it not be that Nigerians who are now fighting to embrace technology will have technology dealing with them very negatively.
All right.
So I think that this matter should be properly investigated, and Dr. Bueno, who is in the custody of police, according to the report, for about 2 weeks now, well, he had to endure until the investigation is concluded. Another thing I wanted to point out here is the unnecessary, malicious publication of religious bodies, especially Christian faith.
How do you mean?
Now, the report says that a pastor, and when they were writing, the report said that he is the founder of Life Fort Chapel, Port Harcourt. Please, let's put the record straight. Dr. Bernal is a medical doctor. Coming into ministry as a pastor was just a few days ago.
Is he a pastor or not?
That he's a pastor, they should consider his profession. Where he had the Life Fort Chapel you are talking about, what people know more in River State is Life Fort Specialist Hospital that has existed over the years. And it is a well-recognized hospital in Port Harcourt.
Is he a pastor or not?
If he's a pastor, as I know, till now, it's not confirmed by me.
You don't need to confirm it, but is he a pastor?
Do you know why I say it's not confirmed by me?
Okay.
I know Benon quite long ago. So why is he not addressed as a medical doctor, but addressed as a pastor? Just to malign the church.
His name was called Dr. Benon. Wasn't he referred to in the write-up? Was he not introduced?
My defense is for the church.
In the write-up, was he not introduced as a medical doctor and also as a pastor?
In the circle of pastors.
What you wanted was he should be introduced only as a medical doctor and not as a pastor.
Hold on. In the circle of pastors, Benol is not yet recognized as one. So presenting him to the world as one of us.
Does he have a church? Does he have a church?
He has a chapel, a praying ground in his premises.
In his premises.
And should not be considered.
And it is called Life Fort Chapel, right?
That's
where he is a minister of the gospel.
Hold on. You will not tell me who is a minister. Just as I will not come to tell you who is a journalist. I will tell you who is a minister since I'm one. Are you getting me? That you have a
I cannot tell you who a journalist is or who a journalist is not. Anybody can be. I don't know all the journalists in Nigeria.
If you cannot, if your organization is not so fashioned to know to that extent,
I do not know all. I do not know all the journalists in Nigeria, and I think you're taking away from.
I'm not taking away. I just want to point that reality.
All right.
That Nigerians are good at when anything concerns the church or a pastor, it will be well boosted. But when it has to do with other things, we handle it. Let this matter, let Beno be addressed as a medical doctor he is. When it comes to his faith and his background, you know that first he was a Christian and he's still a Christian and he's a medical doctor and should be addressed from that angle. When you are talking about Life Fort, address Life Fort Specialist Hospital and not just the chapel that is built where patients go to pray when they need to pray. You don't do that. You don't present second thing first. You should present first thing first. Since he is a medical doctor, he should be addressed as a medical doctor. And if you want to refer to where he belongs, you refer to Life Fort Medical Specialist Hospital. That is that. When you go to his compound, that's what you see. It is when you enter inside the compound, you see where his chapel is. So let Nigerians desist from maligning the name of church and pastors. That is wrong.
All right, very well. Genuinely speaking, a lot of pastors in recent times have been on the news for things that are very despicable. And if they do things in the name of God and bring disrepute to the name of God, they should be called out regardless. So I think maybe your concern is there should be more like pastors should be living an upright life that will not bring disrepute to the name of God. And not when people do something and they are pastors. I'm not saying this with reference to Dr. Bernal, by the way, but at large, because now you're talking about pastors and ministers at large. So when ministers or pastors do things that are wrong, they should not be called out based on the position that they have enjoyed the glory of that office. If you have enjoyed the glory of an office and you mess up while in that office, you'll be called out by that office as well. So the question is, does he have a chapel? Yes, he has a chapel. Does he say he is a pastor? Well, he is known as Dr. Pastor. Haven't we, Chizzy, haven't you seen pastors that are Honorable Dr. Pastor? Reverend Doctor.
Ask him now, why are you bringing me to him?
Reverend Father Doctor. Anyway, that's by the way, but Chizzy, please, what do you have to say to this story?
Well, you know, Marisha, let me come take a perspective. You know, firstly, is to look at what is there said. You know, firstly about managing the church. I totally agree with him. He said that he has told me that what the Bible says about, the Bible says if you give your life to God today, old things are past, behold a new thing. So if there is anything, you should even call the man his pastor and leave the medical doctor. So if there's anything, you call the man.
Interesting position there, Chief.
A pastor.
Not a medical doctor.
If he had become a pastor 3 days ago, that means every other thing is secondary. First thing is the pastoral. A Christian, that's what I believe.
That's what the Bible says.
Yes, I'm saying him from that perspective.
All right.
Now that is not to say that what I have told people that it is better to excuse criminals than punish an innocent person. It's better to excuse 1,000 criminals than punish one
Innocent person.
because the blood of the person will scream. That I know. And that is also not to say, but if you look at, we also have to have a way of trying to, until they fail us, to believe in the system that we have, the institutions that we have. It's not somebody alleging this. It's an institution responsible for that. And they have said, how can a reasonable person like a coup plotting, go via phone? I have not plotted coup before. I have not planned assassination before. So I don't know whether they do it through phone or through talk. I don't even know how they call themselves together. But there must be a form of communication that brings you to one place or the other. That is not indicting them. It's all alleged, isn't it? So there is, like you said, the only of proof will be on the police. The IRS holding brief for them to prove whether what was that. And these names were named. Look at all of the intelligence, copy of intelligence all over the world. It's via phone. You don't understand it. It's when they say electronic interception, you don't understand how it works. I'm being frank with you. And the little knowledge I have around that, I don't want to say it here. Because sometimes, even via what we are saying, this is electronics, unbeknown to you. Unbeknown to you that what you have is Android phone. Have you imagined how an Android phone that you removed a SIM card can be tracked? What you have is an Android phone. Just don't understand it. That you are even saying certain things. There are names that crosses their bar. There are names that, like, for instance, like if you're mentioning things and then you just say terrorism, it hits there. It's like when you are in a house and then you have some parental control. When you want to write something, it will dot it to X automatically. So those things are essential to do that. And you don't also know what the police has. I'm not saying that what the police has said is correct. The first thing that I wanted to know whether is the Sahara reporters that reported saying, was it as a sort of a press conference addressed by the police first? Because you see, you also need to, so that I am not here now validating what Sahara report that I know. The Sahara report has a capacity of lying 90 times and saying truth only 10 times. I'm pretty down here. So the first is to know whether the whole of this gamut of things is from the police itself. Now, if it is from the police, it wouldn't just be a Sahara report writing it. It's other people writing it. That if it is from the police, then we have an obligation to now believe the police and later verify whether it's true or not. What I mean now is, to the extent that the investigation is still ongoing, you will arrest those persons. Now, if I'm in the shoe of Daragogo, for instance, if I'm in the shoe of the Nagogo, and an allegation as wealthy as this, don't forget, if you know the history of the Nagogo and Yesowike, you know they've come a very long way. And they know their capabilities. These two people know their capabilities. Look at all of this from when this whole thing started to today. There hasn't been that allegation anywhere around River State. And it's very unfortunate if it's degenerating to this extent. There hasn't been. Nobody has alleged that, oh, this person wants to do this or the other person wants to do this. So, in between that, am I saying it's true? I'm saying that we should trace it a little bit. So we don't give ourselves, we don't begin to say something that we'll regret tomorrow. There is nobody that they have caught like this that will say yes. Or there is nobody that they will accuse that cannot cause. So if I'm in the position of the Nagogo, I will march to the police headquarters. Strict. Who is telling you in the house? I will march to the police headquarters. That is if the entire story is true. Get what I'm saying? If the entire story is true, I will march to the police headquarters. Strict. I said, this is me. To be police, if I came back and I went to ESS, isn't it? I will march to this is me, I'm not at large. What this I did, then prove it. Now, how the police will prove that? Because you don't just allege that somebody, like as I was saying, it's still in the process. And I like that proactive measure. If it's real, I'm using this word consciously because I won't say something that I don't know. I can't prove it. If it's real, then the police would have done a proactive thing. But some persons will say, all of these killings and assassinations that have been happening, how come the police have not been able to cop it? How come? See, there are VIPs, whether you like it, in every nation. There are, part of the VIPs is, now let me say this. The way I come into this studio is not the way the governor of River State can come into the studio. Is that correct? Yes. Because we still as if we're not human. He occupies certain positions, and so certain institutional protection is attached to him that can cop certain things, anything that has to do with him, including his own lines. That's why, as it is now, the governor is in the public when the people want him to be in the public. So all we need to establish is that the innocent person is not punished, or the guilty is not left unpunished. Doesn't matter who. So if what they have said is correct, the names they are mentioning are not little names. From the doctor, pastor, right, to Dr. Tamidara,
chief doctor.
To chief doctor. They are not little names. They're not children. They're not people that do not also have their own protection or guide of protect. They do have. And so you are not just mentioning one little boy. It's not a case of having one tout somewhere where you will not give the tout money to name somebody. It's not a case. So this is a case that should be a text to both the police, the political gladiators, the Danagogo, the man, and everybody who is here. Thank God it's not Yesowike that said Danagogo want to do with this. It is the police that is saying that. Because if you also live with Yesowike will tell you that Danagogo cannot do him anything. Why would he be bothered about that? Cannot do. But right now, it is the police saying that. You know why it's important to note is they've talked about the invitation of a foreign national, into all of this. You remember that just very recently, Venezuela's president was taken from his home. So anything can happen from the foreign, anything can happen. So we need to also look at those invasions. We are fighting, we are battling with the Boko Harams and all of these insurgencies, and most of them I can tell you are foreign. They are from here and all of that. So we're battling with them now. So we need to come in deeply and speak objectively. For me, let us encourage the police. Our push will be let the police begin to do. Then I go and clear your name. Go to the police straight. Go to the Inspector General of Police straight and say, look at me. What did they say I did? Then they go to court. Go there with their lawyer. And let them go to court. And then they bring forensic investigators. So look at all of this. You have the money to do it. So Nigeria can do it. So we'll know who is who so that some of us will be safe. Because if it's not Yesowike's name, if it was Chiziama's last name, maybe they wouldn't have intercepted it. It would have happened before it happened. That is if it's true.
All right, very well.
Can I comment?
Yes, before you do, very importantly, you know, this news broke, like you said, I think on Monday. I saw it and I was like, ugh. Because of the sources, I was trying to, you know, I was carefully looking through other platforms I consider verified. But then, when I saw Dr. Tammy Danagogo's response, that was what prompted the story being discussed.
The response came out yesterday.
That response, it's very important. The allegation is weighty. It's weighty, and it's not something that should be swept under the carpet. And because the source, for me, was not exactly it, I had to just follow up the story. And when Dr. Tammy Danagogo came out and raised a rebuttal, a refutal to these allegations, I was like, this is worth conversing. If a man of this stature has been roped into this level of allegation, assassination plot against a sitting minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is not a light allegation. It's heavy, right? And it is only fair that Dr. Tammy Danagogo and every other person involved should have their fair hearing. They should speak up, just like Chizzy said. Well, one would expect that he on his own should go to the police station, present himself, and take up the matter. As long as he is innocent, as long as his hands are clean, one would say raising this refutal, even on social media, is still not enough. He should go there, and even if possible, when he goes there and after all the interrogations, he is cleared, he should do a press conference in front of that station. Yes. And say his mind. And if he needs to take it up, then he has the right to, right? But one would say this kind of allegation, and we are a Rivers-based station, which means certain information, certain issues like this must be discussed, particularly when a name like this is being mentioned, and names of heavyweights people in Rivers State are being roped into this. And the fact that Dr. Tammy Danagogo has responded, I am looking at his response to this allegation. That was why we never carried the allegation. But his response has to be discussed. It cannot be swept under the carpet. Dr. Tammy Danagogo, according to Chizzy, is not a small man in Rivers State. And, you know, Mze.
Yes, you know, why I thank you for bringing this. Atlantic Television is a Rivers-based, indigenous, if I will call it from this angle, indigenous station. If I will say the only one. For now, apart from even apart from Radio Rivers.
Rivers ITN is indigenous. The only indigenous. Yes.
So we discuss matters that has to do with Rivers State, and look at the names that were called. This one week had been a local government chairman, state government chief of staff, minister of state for education, minister for education, state governor, and now a serving minister of FCT. He is not a mean man. He's not a small man. And within his time in the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we've seen a lot of things he attracted to Rivers State. One of them was just like the one that came up yesterday, you know, as nomination of Magnus Abe as chairman of upstream sector of NNPC, and things like the petroleum sector. So you see many more like that. So no matter the likeness or the hatred anybody may have for anybody, I take it to be political. When it comes to the real life, Nyesom Wike is an illustrious son of Rivers State and the pride of his ethnic group, Ikwere. And those of us who are from the Igbo extraction, who believes that Ikwere is our brothers too, because we have a lot of affiliations and connections, we are proud of him. In as much as I may differ with him in some certain points. Now, who is Tammy Danagogo? An illustrious son of Rivers State, who has served the federal and the state. You know, he served as SSG to Nyesom Wike. So you see that the intimacy, the closeness.
They were both local government chairman.
And he has served as even a local government chairman of his, I think that should be Akokotor local government. Yes, at some time. And now he has served as state SSG and the federal minister of sports. And now coming back to serve under Fubara as well. I said, so he's not a small man. Who is Bernard? Though Bernard had not been in the front line of politics, but he has been an illustrious Ogoni man in River State who has helped lives. He served very closely with the Jonathan's government together with Yeson Wike. In fact, at some point, there was a time I was needing something at Civic Center. And in fact, I needed that venue because where my men's ministry needed to host a program, I told them that we have to use that government facility. And who made it possible? It was Bernard. Bernard had to go to Wike and say, give us this when he was in power as governor. So you can imagine the relationship. And now, if by any means these people are now falling apart, then you are bringing assassination plot. There was something that happened, that should be either 2003, 2004, thereabout, when a sitting governor alleged that a former minister, or a minister, then Mr. Fixie, Tony Aneni, was plotting to assassinate him. That I'm talking about Senator Joseph Okalo, when he was in power. He came up to say that, to accuse Tony Aneni of planning to assassinate. I was in Ohanes Ndibo then as an executive. So we looked into that matter and said this is not something to sweep on the carpet. Tony Aneni is a strong Edo man, and Joseph Okalo is a strong Igbo man. So what do? We have to take the matter up. So it was not hidden. This case should not be hidden because the people mentioned are too superior to be considered infinitesimal. Not at all. Let it be brought out. If there is anything of such discussion, let the law enforcement agencies know to the extent it has been discussed. Because there are things that could be just a mild talk, and there could be things that could be a serious matter. To what extent, who is involved in this discussion? If it was just two of them talking, we take it as a conversation between two persons. Look, me and Chizzy can be talking about, imagine what Moresha is doing. If I have my way, I will just lynch that girl. And it will end at that. It is just a discussion. So if it is still at the level of discussion, there should be proper cautioning. And it should, in fact, the caution they will give to them should serve as a deterrent to other people so that you know what you discuss in public. Especially when it has to involve people who are reasonable in the society. And also, let me also point out, it is not just enough to take this thing so strongly because it has to do with these so-called VIPs. Let the life of every Nigerian matter.
All right, very well.
Let the law enforcement, as they have been able to track this one, let them also track other discussions. When the bandits and the terrorists and kidnappers are discussing with their people, let them track it and get these people apprehended.
All right, very well. Chizzy, as we move on to the next story.
The only thing I want to say is that, Larisha, while we were talking about the response, that is what prompted this discussion.
Yes.
If not for the response. Now that the Ragogo can also respond via online. There are people who, because of online thing, you just respond. I think that that's why it's important that you would also have reported there to know whether the validity of even the report
it's true or not.
If it's true or not. Because these people could just lift up a report and say, this is what is happening in one police something. So you go there and say, this is what I've heard. I mean, here I am. What happened if you're innocent? Now, that's number one. So that if it is not true, some of us would begin to put pressure on what to do with Sarah reporter. I don't believe in them as a person. And openly, I don't believe in them. And 90% of the stories are fabricated. I don't believe in them. So if that is the case, so you don't begin to respond on all of this. That's why we've been quarreling other times that, people, government officials just do online thing, this social media. This is something that is as serious as, like what is it? Captured. He said when all this color happened, he said the pan
Ohanes Ndibo
gathered together and said, no, this is not what they met the PD people and all of they began to come to talk about it. So, but for this Darago go on, when he was just mentioning that, only now I knew that it looks like the river southeast and river southwest and rivers east, like Wike is from here. That these two wanted to kill us. We wouldn't accept it now. So some of us, I think Darago should do us a favor.
All right.
He should go to because Darago, he was stressing it. Darago go 2 times local government chairman with Wike. Same time. That's why you see all of them, they are all one. 2 times local government chairman. Remember it was Darago that resigned because of Wike to follow Wike. And then the Wike made him minister. I hope you know.
Yes.
The Wike made him minister. Wike made him SSG. Even the SSG he was with Fubara was Wike that made him. You know, he was in Wike's cabinet and just became the SSG and continued. All of that. So if it has degenerated to this extent, then he should clear himself. Because for me, politics should not stop friendship. Should clear myself. I will go over and say, look, even if I disagree with this person, it cannot come to this extent. When did I say that? So we will not know who is lying to us.
Right.
If it is the police, if it is Sahara, we will know.
Right.
Until then.
All right, very well. And before we move on to the next story, it's very important that police has a public relations arm. River State Police has a PPRO, right? The very beautiful Grace Iringekoko. And this is calling on the police to address this matter. Matters that do not have as much consequence as this has been addressed by the police, public relations arm. The police has come out on several occasions to inform Rivers people, give them updates on whatever it is that is going on in Rivers State. And this is a matter that cannot be swept under the carpet, considering the political tension currently in Rivers State. So please, I make an appeal to the police and the police PPRO to please make a public statement on this. Either affirm the veracity of this news or debunk it, so that everybody would know the true situation, what is on ground, and then, because it's actually a matter of concern at this point. Our politics do not need to degenerate to this level. Now, moving on. Still on River State crisis, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, on Monday, met with River State Chairman of the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressive Congress, Chukwuemeka Aaron Anthony Okocha. The meeting, confirmed by Wike's media aide, Lere Olayinka, signals a fresh alignment between leaders of the two dominant parties ahead of the 2027 general election. Recent reports indicate that the Tanimu Turaki-led PDP leadership in Rivers collapsed its structure into the Aaron faction, pledging loyalty to Wike. The minister has been touring all 23 local government areas in a push to reassert control of the state's political machinery. He had earlier visited Oba, Ebema, Ndoni local government area, where party stakeholders publicly declared allegiance to him despite cross-party differences. Observers said the consultation with both PDP and APC leadership suggests a strategy to build a united platform before crucial electoral negotiations begin. Sources close to the zonal council maintain that the objective is to prevent further fragmentation of the South-South power bloc. Wike is expected to continue high-level engagements with grassroots structures in the coming weeks. The outcome of these talks may shape candidate selection and coalition choices as Rivers politics enters another decisive season. Nze, what is your take?
Politics has started. Politicking has started. Last year, towards the end of last year, our own FCT minister, if I may use my word, you may think I'm being sarcastic, the bulldozing, the FCT minister, the bulldozing machine of Rivers politics. He promised that politics will start in January, and hitting the January running with it. He's now touring the entire local government areas, and in each of the local government areas he will make a statement. And to some Rivers people, some of the statements are not really entering well, and to some, it was okay. And it has created a divide, a strong divide in Rivers State, where some groups are loyal to the sitting governor, and other groups are loyal to FCT minister. It's either you are here or there. But the question I'm asking in relation to the news this morning, FCT minister meeting with both APC chairman and PDP chairman, though initially they were factional chairmen, and not until the national APC affirmed the Tony Okocha's faction as the most authentic, even though the High Court in Rivers State affirmed Emeka Beke as the authentic chairman. But finally, since it has to do with internal party structure and the crisis, we had to go with the national. So then having the two of them stay together, it is bringing us back to the statement that was made, in 2023, where most of us cried foul and called anti-party, PDAPC. It means that Wike is now the connecting point for the both party. I think either, if I'm not mistaken, either in Eleme, when he visited Eleme local government, he said that there is nothing like PDP, there is nothing like APC, that what counts is renewed hope family. And I now ask myself, what kind of politics is this? Because Wike is shouting on your mandate will stand for the president. Fubara is shouting on your mandate will stand, Mr. President. And these two are not really coming, they are like oil and water. They are not coming together.
Two parallel lines that are not crossing.
They don't cross. And both of them are fighting for the success of one man, which I believe that here you see a high level of political deception, intrigues, and things like that. Because my interest, your interest, same. But we don't agree. So you see that while I'm seeking the consent or the favor of Mr. President, you are seeking the favor of Mr. President, and me and you are strong sworn enemies, so to speak, even though it's supposed not to be so. I now see that these two are beginning to raise up a fight that will be like the fight of two elephants that will cause the grass, which is Rivers people, to suffer. Because they are creating room for Mr. President, who is not from the River State, he is not even from South, to come to Rivers and reap. Because if at the end of the day, Mr. President will be looking at who will satisfy him more. If Fubara satisfies him more, he can jettison FCT minister. And if FCT minister satisfies him more, he can jettison the interest of Fubara. And to me, that is not good enough. So instead of driving like this because of selfish interest, why do I call it selfish interest? In one of the local governments, I had the FCT minister say that if he allows Fubara to win 2027 election, that he would be politically buried. That statement to me didn't go down well. Yes, is it true? If it is true, the person that is coming to bury you is the person you gave birth to. Because whether you like it or not, it is Wike that gave birth to Fubara politically. Fubara was a career civil servant whom God helped 3 years from Wike to ascend to the position he ascended, and at the end of the day becoming a counter general of the state. So Wike brought him single-handedly and made him governor. So why should they fight so to the extent of destroying River State? Look at statements that are coming from FCT minister. Number one, that nobody should meddle in the affairs of River State, that whoever he must come must have his interest, take orders from him and be loyal and stuff like that. Why? No. Okay, you have ruled, and your time you have produced a successor. So all I believe that you should have given strong support to this young man. There is no how you can get everything. I think wisdom says that you can't eat your cake and have it.
All right.
He has eaten his cake as the governor of River State and has handed over to somebody who will protect his interest, because I believe that there are things Governor of Fubara cannot do to Wike. Yes, there are things he cannot do to him.
All right,
if he does it, then posterity will wait for him and repeat same. Because Bible says that whichever thing you, whatever cup you used to give to somebody will be used to give to you.
All right, very well.
So I don't think if this should be allowed to continue.
All right,
otherwise,
you mean Wike meeting with APC and PDP,
trying to gather
the
the
unification of both parties.
Why should we even unify the both parties?
All right, very well. Chizzy, what is your take on this?
The only problem I have with that is that I didn't see ADC chairman Labour Party chairman because Wike is the political leader of Rivers State. He should have called all of these political leaders. What he said, I don't understand it. You see, in politics, I remember when we were discussing one thing, let me say Reverend Nze, so that you let me remind him. Reverend Nze said to you that you should tell him about journalism. Let him tell you about his pastoral. Let the Reverend Nze also allow me to do
so
politics.
You want to do the politics now? All right. Very well.
You see, what caterpillars and tractors mean to a contractor is what human beings mean to a politician. That's when they mean structure. When people are talking about, you think it's about money. It's about structure. Now, when you say, for instance, he just said something, he invited them, and then he went to one local government, quoted in there again, and he said it's not about APC, there's no APC, there's no PDP, it is about Bola Tinubu. He's talking about a national interest first. When you leave national interest, you go back to the second interest, which is the state interest. At that point, you have to make decision. And anybody who tells you, said, oh, he brought him. After all, he brought him. That's his interest, he brought him. And that why would he think he will kill him? The man has started killing him after 2 months of being sworn in. The man has not even started walking. In my place, if you bring a new fowl, using the fowl language again, if you bring a new chicken or whatever, a hen, my people demands that one will walk with one leg. But Fubara was not up to 3 months when he began to show that I was only pretending for all this while. From 2003 to today, I was only pretending. And what is it? People say, what is this agreement? What is this agreement? All of these local government chairmen that are here now, today, we are the local government chairmen that agreed that when you go as governor, we will go as local government chairman. That's the agreement we're talking about. Let me even tell the world what we're talking about when we say agreement.
The agreement that they brokered the first time that caused this crisis.
This crisis.
Not the agreement before the peace pact.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Those are the agreements during the elections. Let me shock you. The person that would have been made the governor of Rivers State, as in Sim, was the former commissioner for works from Calabar. Kelly something. I've forgotten him. He was a former commissioner for works.
George Kelly.
And at about that time, Sim ran to George Kelly to be commissioner for finance.
When he is made governor.
When he's made the governor, he ran to him to become commissioner for finance. But there are factors. Some of us have to say it. I know Wike will not say it. It was all the lady who said no. Because you see, Wike, when the other day I said Wike is a movement. Wike is not like, people think Wike just says something. Wike will consider, George Kelly was supposed to run with Samuel Wanosike as deputy. As running mate. Young people. Then the ADC was supposed to be speaker.
Wow, that was the arrangement.
That was the arrangement. That was all of the arrangement. But when these people said no,
you said Peter Odili said
yes, Peter Odili. Yes, Peter Odili. When Peter Odili and his gang said no, I'm also a former governor now. You can't just do it. Remember that Wike sees Peter Odili then as his leader. He said no. If you have said no, he said no. You can choose another person, not that angle. I don't know why people now look at Peter Odili and say he doesn't like the Calabares. They know. The Calabares know.
George Kelly was from Calabar.
Yes. When he said no, it was painful. It was the George Kellys and these young people that said, okay, bring him now. They went and told him, he said no. They brought him. And then changed the entire thing. So Sim was not going to come. All they now demanded, Sim was also going to run with Ishi. All they now demanded for a running mate.
They demanded for the slot of the running mate.
The running mate, that's how Ngozi came.
So Ngozi, the Deputy Governor, Her Excellency Ngozi Odu, was the candidate for Odili.
If you had brought this person, let me also bring this person. Now, bringing the running mate, now it has now spoiled the arrangement with ADC. because it's from the same place.
Oh, okay. The same place as who?
As the running mate, as
Ngozi. Okay. That was how Martin Samihule
that was
how
how the thing changed. Now you don't know that it's only this central district that does not have somebody. It has to be Martin Samihule.
All right.
So Edis's anger was that he was a deputy speaker when Martins was the leader. Now, but this thing has come now. Now, Martins coming in as position now affected Ishi also from coming as secretary to government.
So Ishi had to go back to being local government chairman.
They were all there. They were
all
back.
chairman.
They were just went back to that
their
place.
status.
And then the team went back to this place. Now, for people to agree, I met Ishi, this weekend met Ikoro local government by 4 a.m. in the morning with him. Please, my people, I know he's not a politician. I know. Let's adopt him. Sir, if you are going to adopt him, Charles Wobodo is going to be chairman. If you want us to concede, we are supposed to have secretary, we are supposed to have deputy. If you want us, so that was the agreement in all the local government.
For them to agree to adopt.
So the same way they are adopting you is the same way you are accepting to adopt these persons. And that was supposed to come by June. So upon being sworn in by May, then I said, okay, the tenure of these people are expiring. Announce this, let them release money for them, let them hold election for these persons. You started calling meeting to change the local government chairman. People started telling you, you're governor, you have to make your own local government chairman. See, let me tell you. And people say, was he not wicked that made his own local government chairman? I tell you, yes. Was it Amechi that made his own local government? Yes. Why? Amechi fought his way to become governor. Remember, he was in Ghana.
He was not installed.
He was not installed. Wike fought his own, came with his boys, all the assemblies and all that, to fight to get it. They got it. And do you know what? From when Wike entered as governor, all the agreement on the local government has been maintained today. It's not an accident that Ishi was going to be a local government chairman. It's not an accident that Charlie is going to succeed him. We also know who is going to succeed Charlie if Christ does not come. You know why? Because as at the time they were fighting this thing, Oga, you they go local government, you they go governor. For our local government, and this person go chairman, after this person and this person. That's the political agreement. He maintained it. So when it came, he now said, okay, I'm going to bring the governor. These people now said they are going to bring the local government chairman. So we allowed you to bring governor. It is us that you will not allow. That's why when people talk about Wike saying it. Wike can relax. Say will be comfortable meeting with Wike alone and leave these persons. But Wike will not be comfortable leaving this person. That's the problem. That's the problem that just should know. So when he says, okay, this guy, if I allow him, the political structure will go. Is that Wike knows that if he allows him, Wike will not sleep. You think that all of these people that Wike is struggling to appoint to the federal government, to the order that Wike wanted it? Who told you that? This person should have been around the state, working with the state. Do you know how, when a politician is leaving government and is going higher, he wants to put in the other person so that the other person can accommodate other persons? In local government, there are politicians in Nigeria, in Rivers State today, that their concern is not who is going to be president, it doesn't matter. Who is going to be governor does not matter. Their own is who is going to be councillor. Because that's their level. So if you come to them and tell them, you're going to do this, see, myself, Charles, Dr. Steve, Dr. Wosper, we couldn't produce the councillor of my ward. It's not a weakness. It's because the boys, they have told us, hey, Oga, that we get this stuff to produce. We want to leave us. We want to bring somebody. Because they are our structure. They understand that? They are structure. They met together as Oga. And we know that, okay, what? And look at that. It's the councillors that they are meeting with. So at a certain level at local government, you mean that our local government, Wike will not come and tell us who is going to be local government. When we have told him this is the person that will be local government, and Sim will say no, then Wike will agree with him. Then he will come and we will win. We will fight for him again. That's why I say the fight that we are fighting is not about Wike. It's about that in Ikwere local government, Sim will not win. Even if Wike adopts him in Obiakpo, it's the fact that in Obiakpo, Sim, Wike might vote for Sim, but he will not win. The structure will not allow him. Because it's not about them. The structure is also, right now, when people say Wike say he wants annoyed, Wike say he wants annoyed. Let me even say it openly. Which Wike wants annoyed? We have met severally. I told Wike, okay, you disappointed us to Sim. He's even begging. When you brought SIM, we agreed. Now SIM is not amongst the structure. We agreed. But this one, we will not agree. We want one ABC. Go and consider ABC.
Because the one you brought.
Because the one you brought, you told us. And what was Wike's logic? Why did he bring SIM? Wike said, okay, now that it's only SIM that does not have structure. Felix Ogwe has structure. Danagogo, who does not want SIM to be governor, and SIM thought that he wanted to be governor. He wants to be governor. Danagogo does not want. Danagogo wanted to be governor. It's an affront to Danagogo that a man who was reporting to him now is governor. It's an affront. Forget that. Forget all of this pretend. He is pretending to see that SIM is gone. That's why they advise him wrongly. Danagogo knows what to tell SIM, and SIM will do things right. Danagogo wanted to be governor. All of them. So he just said, oh, all of a sudden they begin to gather as structures. You hear me? Now, that's the problem some of us who do have structure do have. Is you're gathering as structure so that my structure in the enemy may not want the structure of Felix Ogwe. This other structure will not want this. So let's not have a unifying person. Let's have somebody who does not have structure. That's why he brought him. Somebody who does not have structure. So that all the structure will now work for him. It was a unity kind of government. Then they came, he said, no, begin to get structure. Now again, after all of these structures, let me even tell them, after all of this case, we are telling them, okay, the president saved him by having a state of emergency, which is not ours. When they say Wike is going around, Wike first went round to tell us sorry. Because we told him that even when we wanted to strike, he didn't allow us strike. Wike is more interested in SIM than most of us. We've told him that we've accused him. That's why we've taken a stand that Wike will not do anything now. He will not even choose our successor. We have told him, we have recommended 3 persons to him. He will choose. We have recommended 3. Out of these 3, give us 1. We are comfortable.
All right, so are you comfortable with, if I understand from everything you have said, how all the structures had to unify to make SIM win in 2023? Is that what the game he's also playing with the political parties, APC, PDP in this instance?
He's lobbying them now. That's why I said I don't know why ADC is not there. Because he's supposed to bring Labour Party, ADC, all of that. He's the political leader of River State. Which one is, do we have another person? For now. So I say that he's lobbying them. He's trying to get them to unify so that whatever we have accepted will go smoothly. It doesn't matter anything. I mean, it's begging. Do you know that a party can say, we are not going for presidency, we are supporting this president? Has it not happened before? Parties can say that. Parties can say, for
they are adopting a candidate.
We can go for local government chairman, but this governor, we are not running against him. It happens. It's not anti-party. It happens. It's a new way of it's politics. It happens all over the world. Parties can say we are adopting this person. What he has done is correct. So that's what he's lobbying. He's lobbying the party to say, please adopt this person for us. In River State, let us win. Thank God Fubra is here now, also working for the same person. So it is now for us. That is why I say the second phase of Fubra, those who advised him are those who hate him. This second phase, honestly, Fubra had gotten the second term. Maybe he would have been dealing with us and God doing our prayers. What he would have done is just pretend and get the second tenor and then begin to deal with us as he's dealing with us. But God didn't accept him. God didn't allow him. You know, he can't scheme that and allow people like us. Some of us, our names have gone for cabinet. But all of a sudden, God just did it. And today, he is there working against himself. Instead of pretending and allowing. Do you know what was happening? In sharing, we got started saying, SIM, APC, PDP, give them like this, bring them together, readjust. He would have waited. This election that's coming, they wanted to just twist everything so that it will be one. And then when he gets it, and then in second tenor, we'll all go. But thank God for our prayers.
You're right. I didn't know. Cheesy, I didn't know you people were praying.
Oh, we pray.
Oh, you pray.
God, please don't allow all of those scheming to work.
Anyway, as we round up your final submission.
It is getting more interesting. The discussions yesterday actually that spilled over to today is getting more interesting. That we are seeing that in every society, men sit down and plan the success, advancement, and development of that society. I salute what Chizzy had said, and which, happened 2022, 2023, and that produced what we are suffering today. Because all those things, if it had been on the interest of the masses, this Buhari wouldn't have been there. But it is on the interest of the few who felt that it is their right to feed fat from the milk of River State, and not considering the well-being of the masses. Had even that in all those agreements, it is agreed that a so and so factory will be built in Alba Mandoni, so and so industry will be sited in Ogoni, this will be here, this will, all the development, those number of Rivers people, youths will be going on scholarship, studying abroad and all that. If these are just the plans, fine and good, we won't be having what we are having today. But it was because it was all about personal interest. And you still discover that same personal interest is still coming again. And we are saying, thank God he said that they are praying, but I don't know the God that they were praying to. We too will go to pray.
All right.
We are not starting to pray. We have been praying.
All right.
And that's why, despite all the pressure, the governor is still the governor, which I told you last. Okay, it was not you, it was one of the presenters. That Governor Sim Fubara is a strong cord that is stronger than iron.
All right.
And we believe that come 2027, he will emerge victorious.
All right, thank you very much. Chizzy, your final submission.
Substructures build superstructures. So when you put substructures, that's when superstructures will build. When you have somebody who is a deceit, you know that the entire place is gone. And then he's talked about prayers. Of course, it's ours to pray, it's for God to answer. He knows he understands the intents of man. But one thing I trust about the pastors is if you bring another person, they will say that is God's own. Bring another person, they will say that is God's own. They've never prayed somebody and say this is the next person, and the person comes.
Anybody in power, pastors will endorse them, spiritual endorsement.
Because he needs his fellowship to be hosted with government house money. He said so. So that's
and what he's a pastor.
Yeah, so that's the same thing. So
all right.
You understand that.
All right. Yeah, you just reminded me of a certain priest that said that he saw doves descending. Those brought message to him, telling him that so and so will be president of the country. And a few years down the line, he had to recant some of the things he said. So I don't know whether the doves that came, they didn't come from heaven.
The dove, they didn't come actually or what?
It's certain Reverend Father. Well, then thank you so much.
Whichever way it goes.
It's a pleasure. We are already out of time.
We'll keep praying.
Of course. Thank you so much, Nze. Thank you so much, Chizzy, for coming. It's a pleasure. And Nze, once more, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy
birthday.
birthday. We celebrate you greatly.
Thank you very much.
And this is how we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. We are open for sponsorship of the program, advert placements, news, events, coverage, and commercials. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. On Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. You can also watch us on Avo TV, Niger TV, and Efastech TV platform. You can connect with us on our ATN socials by subscribing, like, and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. And on X, Atlantic TV Net. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Laurentia Ugu. Transition News comes up next. Do not go away.